Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. I've beaten around the bush on this subject a lot in the last couple of months, hinting that we might get here eventually. But I think we are back to the point where at least all early flesh and blood is underpriced. And of course, last year after the Monarch print run numbers came out and all of the fair weather investors ran away, sold too cheap, and lost interest, I was pounding the table all of last summer, the summer of 2022, saying that all fab was underpriced at the time, and I was steadily buying, and thankfully a lot of viewers of this channel and patrons were also steadily buying. And so when the market started to turn upwards in November of 22, and then all through around March, everybody was profiting very nicely. I got very many nice messages from people, patrons, and just regular YouTube viewers alike on how excited they were that they had taken that advice and bought all through the cruel summer of 2022. And now what we've seen since about March or April, when prices topped out on Flesh and Blood, is just a slow retreat. And of course, Magic has made very strong offerings this year. Phyrexia, the best-selling standard set in Magic history. Lord of the Rings, the best-selling overall expansion in Magic history. And it's brought a lot of players back. You know, it's taken some of that attention off of Flesh and Blood that Flesh and Blood had gained all through the fall and winter of 2022 and early 23, while WotC was floundering around with Magic 30 and a whole bunch of stupid decisions. But now here we are in late summer of 2023, and we see after these prices have retreated on these products, they are once again underpriced. It's time to start buying these again, slowly putting them away, nibbling as you can, because eventually the prices will start trending upwards again. And you have to keep in mind as we go through these, a lot of these are out of print. For instance, the first one, Welcome to Wraith Unlimited boxes. These went out of print in December of 2021. They have been out of print for 20 months now. And essentially they've given back all the gains that they had gotten from January. You have to go all the way back to January to get the prices where they are today. And so these have given up 7 months of gains. We'll move on. Arcane Rising Unlimited, $126. These went out of print actually before Welcome to Wraith Unlimited, November of 2021. So 21 months out of print on this one. And they've given up 5 months of gains to go back to their March of 2023 prices. Crucible of War, similarly, has given up 5 months of gains. And it went out of print first. It was actually the first Flesh and Blood product to be declared out of print in October of 2021. So we are talking 22 months. This has been out of print and the boxes are still a mere $90. Onwards to Monarch First Edition, $109 today. Since it's first edition, it doesn't really have an out of print date. It was one printing and done, but its price today at $109 is back to what it was in March. So it's given up 5 months of gains. Similarly, Tales of Aria First Edition given up 5 months of gains. And Everfest First Edition has given up 7 months of gains. The prices are back to what they were in January of 2023. And so with all of these, we've essentially seen 5 to 7 months of price erosion. We've seen the prices revert. And what this does for you as an investor is it essentially gives you this opportunity where today you get to buy at 5 months ago's prices. And so you did not have to tie up your money for those 5 months in order to buy at the same price. And it's really a gift as an investor when you get to do that, when there's a retracement on something that you know in the long term will just keep going up. And so we've had those additional 5 months or 7 months in the case of some of these products that boxes have been attrited. These are all out of print. The number of boxes is only going down every single day as they get opened, as occasionally some get destroyed. And so the population of these boxes is smaller than it was 5 months ago, and yet the prices are the same. Take advantage of that. Now, if we keep moving on, History Pack Volume 1, these are actually back to their October 2022 prices. So they have given up 10 months of gains in price. They aren't officially out of print. Legend Story Studio has not updated its collector page for these and said that these are actually out of print, but that does not necessarily mean they will see any more printing. It just simply means Legend Story is still holding open the right to reprint them if they think the market needs it. And then moving on into what we would kind of call the most recent era of boxes, beginning with Uprising. These are at about that $80 price point that you expect the more recent Flesh and Blood boxes to eventually come down to once the initial hype of release has passed and they are kind of starting to be forgotten by the market. So $80 is definitely a good price point. I would not say there's any rush on these more modern boxes to run out today and start building a position. I think there will be plenty of time with these. The same with Dynasty. It's at about that $80 price point, and Outsiders also. Now, the interesting thing is I went over to eBay and I searched for these, and I searched a couple other dealers that I sometimes buy from, and really these TCG player prices were about the best. Now, sometimes you could find one box on eBay a little cheaper, but none of the big eBay dealers had huge number of boxes at better prices than TCG Player. And occasionally, if you would like to get a sealed case, there were those over on eBay for cheaper prices. And so some of these more recent expansions from Flesh and Blood, you can still get economies of scale and a quantity discount by buying 4 boxes in the case if you want a sealed case to keep back. And finally, Dusk Till Dawn. It's just far too new. There hasn't been enough time for the market to get saturated with this product yet and bring it down to that approximate $80 price point that we expect it to kind of fall into for the long term. Now, with Uprising, Dynasty, and Outsiders, if you are a Rudy patron, he puts these cases up eventually at $70 per booster box in the case quantity. So if you're a Rudy patron, look there, check to see if he has those in stock because they're a bit cheaper. Otherwise, you might wait for a bonus buck sale. Now, on the long timeline, of course, Uprising, Dynasty, Outsiders, Dusk Till Dawn, Bright Lights, History Packs, of course, all that stuff is investable in the long term. But right now, I think there is a lot of inventory in the market, and it's not likely to snap upwards in price and run away from you very quickly. But these older sets, they're all out of print, these original 6, and they will continue to just dry up. So these are the ones that I would recommend people be slowly building positions in, or if you wisely built a position last summer and last fall, take some time, evaluate expanding that position now, because essentially we've gotten a reprieve on the price climb for now, and you have the opportunity to add some more to your closet at prices from 5, 7, sometimes even 10 months ago. Consider it, guys. Let me know what you think. Otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade.